So,
Yeah.
all right, listen. You wrote up the run of show today. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's
was
go,
good. All
Jersey
right.
Joe.
Let's break into the challenge we had yesterday. I was confident, and I think I went 0-3 yesterday.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge killed me because the 12.7 pointer got walk off in the bottom of the ninth inning. Toronto loses. I was totally wrong about the Braves. Wright was
Red
all
Sox.
over the place.
Yeah.
He couldn't find the strike zone. He got behind early. And then the Phillies they just aren't good.
Yeah, here
It's
we
just
go. Right
simple
here.
as that.
We
Yeah.
got this right here. So listen, I don't know if you noticed this. I went back and I tried to figure out why was I so high on Seattle and what the heck happened 2 days ago. Do you know what I noticed? What I didn't notice 2 days ago? Frazier and Crawford didn't play in that game on Monday night. So 2 of their best 3 players, Haniger's already out, didn't play.
Yeah.
Didn't play in the game. They came back and played yesterday. And they're both playing today. Listen, I was right on one. The best pick I made was 100% accurate. If Buxton plays, you take the Twins. If not, it is a steal. I still have no idea why Verlander was only minus 145.
Yeah,
Did
was
you
a
figure
steal.
that out?
Yeah, no, I don't
What?
understand why it was that low. I
Korea,
think it was
Larnach?
because Minnesota won 8 of 10 and they were home. It's the only thing that factors into why that line was so low for Verlander.
So Larnach, Korea, and Arias also were out of the lineup yesterday.
Yeah, I looked at the lineup. It was putrid.
What was
Look
Vegas
at this.
banking on somebody not paying attention like me? Because I sure as heck didn't notice it until it was too late. I noticed it enough before the single bets, but not before I made this play. What do you think? First of all, the Padres game, Cubs game was a great game. The Phillies game was actually pretty close, wasn't it? Wasn't the Phillies?
Oh, yeah, it was
Seattle
close.
game
It ended 5-4. But they were really never sniffed any shot of actually winning Philly. They were kind of hanging close, but they weren't ever in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And obviously the Devers hit a grand slam early, so Atlanta was really not in that game early on either. I thought the Jays was easily going to win, and then they end up blowing the lead late. Romano's first blown save of the year. So I was totally wrong yesterday in baseball. So
why is he throwing a changeup belt high to Aaron Judge?
Yeah, it was right down the middle. I don't know either.
Yeah. So that was number one. But number two, listen, I think that Toronto's got a team good enough to win it all. I don't think they have the manager for it. I don't think that's their guy. I don't think their manager can get him there. The crazy part about this thing, when I look at what happened in that game, I think the umpires finally did the right thing. I think he did hit him on purpose. I don't care what anybody says. I think he hit the guy on purpose. And now I'm reading that Donaldson had words with the catcher before that. There was an argument that transpired with Donaldson and the Toronto Blue Jay and the catcher before that. So there was a lot that I read into this that he hit him on purpose. I mean, but it was done right. He didn't go after his head, right?
Yeah,
he did it the right way. He hit him.
It was a quick ejection, though, in my opinion. It was a quick ejection. Then didn't you see that they retaliated? The umps retaliated with ejecting what's his name right away, even though it was chin music. Yeah. So there was a lot of overreaction to what could happen in that situation, which I guess is the umps kind of their job to prevent it from getting out of hand. But I don't know if I would have threw out the Jays pitcher for hitting Donaldson, honestly.
Really?
I don't think I thought it called for a warning first. You know what I'm saying? That they usually
you can't warn them. You can't because if you deem that it is intentional and you're going to issue a warning, you don't issue a warning until the other team has a chance to retaliate. Then you'll issue warnings.
You think it was 100% on purpose?
Yeah, I mean, to me that was nowhere near the plate. It was a tailing in fastball that hit him, and he hit him where they tell him to hit him. They want you to hit him in the rib cage. They want you to hit him. They say, listen, that's
one of those
baseball.
lines, though. It's one of those lines in sports. You can't really 100% be sure of another human's intention. There's times where you could kind of see, well, whoa, it's obvious.
You are 100% right.
You know what I'm saying?
That. But that's not what the umpire's job is. The umpire's job is to try to squash a beef, and I think he did it right away by doing it.
I hear you.
So I had no problem with it. I go back to Montoya, the way that he he just looked, even when he came out to argue, didn't he just look like a lost fool out there arguing with the umpires?
He definitely doesn't have that feel of a championship type of manager for sure. He doesn't have control of his team right now because they're also slumping right now. And I don't like what I see from Toronto right now. I'm being honest.
They to me, they have the best hitter in baseball still. I think Guerrero Jr. is definitely the best hitter in baseball. So I think you got to give him a puncher's chance. What are you looking at? What are you looking at tonight?
As far listen, just must watch television right now is Ohtani hitting the hill again. I love this guy. I don't know what it is.
Yep.
The Angels are hot. They're fun right now. And I just think Ohtani's going to keep it going for this team. I think they're going to sweep the Rays today. I think Ohtani has I know McClanahan's on the hill. He's been their best pitcher for the Rays. But I like Ohtani right now. I like the juice that the Angels have. And we've been talking about it since the beginning of the year. This team is definitely a team to keep an eye on. You know, they have that potential, and I think they're starting to roll. So I'm going to keep going. I don't know if I picked them in our challenge today, but that's where my eyeballs are going. My eyeballs are going to Ohtani today.
I'm looking at this, and I was kind of shocked when I went through and I looked at some of the numbers today. Listen, I don't even know who this guy is. Falter for Philadelphia. All right. He's going up against Logan Gilbert. Logan Gilbert, are you telling me, has got a 1.36 ERA? Cole for Colorado has a 1.82 ERA. Thompson for Chicago has a 1.17 ERA.
Yeah, but Keegan Thompson, this is Thompson's first start. He's been a reliever all year. He's barely played too. He plays like once every week. So
listen to these numbers. Look at the numbers. McCollus 1.53. Like the numbers right now are unbelievably low ERAs. It shows. I think it shows the trend that we keep talking about. This trend in baseball. Instead of looking at the batting averages, let's just start looking at the pitchers' ERAs and the numbers of how it's making not great pitchers, great pitchers. It's showing the status of baseball and where it's going. Some of these guys shouldn't have ERAs at 1.8.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, but it's also 1 month in, so I tend to believe a lot of these numbers are going to come back to earth a little bit and get back into the norm. But you're right. Yeah. Pitchers are out there looking like way over their head right now with the way that their ERAs are and the way that the hitting is. I mean, look, we're looking at a Dodgers game right now. It just broke open in the 7th, but 0 runs through set. Like everywhere you look, you seem to have teams stuck on 0 or 1 run. Everywhere. The unders are king right now.
I probably listen to this. I'm already starting off bad. The Guardians and the White Sox game postponed.
Yeah, I know.
That's an L for me. That counts as an L.
Where were you leaning?
I had the White Sox. I had the White Sox in my brackets today. So that basically goes down as an L. so I can't get any points out of it.
Yeah,
so it's basically an L.
I'm pulling up the challenge now. I think I went with I like Alcantara on the mound again for Marlins. I've been riding him all year.
Oh, you got the Nerfy. You got one of the Nerfies in there.
Yeah, and it's funny which one I did. I actually laughed when I clicked it.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Come out with a pattern.
I'm fading those 2 pitchers. That's what I'm doing. I'm fading those 2 pitchers.
You came out 2 days ago with great information. You said, look at the last 10 games for Detroit. You listed it. It tells us Detroit is a horrible offensive team. That's what it tells us.
Okay. And then
they went out that same day. They went out and put up a 0.
Right.
Then they got 6 the next day. And yesterday, you were like, "Oh, I think they might start getting hot." No, Joe.
No, I hit the under again. They had 1.
Yes, you stay with your.
This doesn't mean that these pitchers aren't like. Listen, the bet is for these pitchers to come out struggling. Both these pitchers are making their debut. I don't agree that both are going to have their stuff early. And I could see Oakland scoring first. That doesn't mean Detroit has to score first. I just think one of these debut pitchers are going to get hit in the first inning. That's why I took it.
Me. I know, but you did such a good job with your data.
Listen, it's sports betting. You got to. Every day is different. Every bet's different. You got to analyze everything. And I'm telling you right now, that first run inning is happening. So you can sit here and criticize me all you want. Actually, I did pick the Angels. I did pick Ohtani in the challenge.
You got the Angels, and I actually like the Diamondbacks. I actually like the Diamondbacks.
Alcantara is their best pitcher. Diamondbacks are not a great team. I can't I'm going to fade them for the sweep. I think Alcantara gets them a win today.
Have they lost? I thought they'd won 4 or 5 in a row. I think they're 4 games over 500. I think the Diamondbacks are
no. They've been hot, but to me, still as an overall team, they're not that great. So for me, I think Alcantara could right the ship and get the Marlins a victory today in the last game on the getaway day for the Marlins. I just think he's a better pitcher than Kelly, and I think that they are due for a win. And it's just the way I'm playing it. I think Marlins get a dub today.
Look at the sleeper just sitting there. He's got the Mets. He's got the Angels with you. He's got the Braves. He's actually in a position.
No Acuna Jr. in the lineup today. I like Eovaldi on the mound. I stayed away from that game.
Connor could jump right in there right now because you went against. Listen, here's the problem. I think you went against your own beliefs. You went against knowing. You know that Detroit is a very poor offense. You know that. And
did you not hear my breakdown why I took that?
Yeah, but
Come on.
Discipline. Be disciplined.
Discipline. Two pitchers who sucked in the minors are both pitching their debut today.
Against 2 horrible offenses.
Okay, one's got to give, and I think the offenses are going to scratch a run in the first. That's what I think.
Love it.
We'll see. I mean... I like the points too. 11 points for that. I
think we're going to be sitting here talking about the rookie tomorrow because I think the rookie's going to sneak in there and beat us both. I do. I can see that happening right now.
A little beginner's luck.
I think he knows what he's doing. I think half the kids in school nowadays are betting like we did back.
Yeah, you're right.
Back then it was only 10% of us. Now I think it's like 50% of them. Like half of them are just enjoying that. I didn't have an excuse of not going to class. I think now they can at least say, "Well, I don't want to go to class. I want to watch the game."
Yeah, it used to only be you skip class for March Madness, but now it's literally for Dodgers Pirates at 12:30. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'll tell you, man.
But listen, let's break down last night's playoff slate.
Let's do it. Let's do this though. Let me jump in real quick. We're gonna come back to our picks in the brackets for today. Late with a pick of the day. But I'm going to read this real quick, get through the read for Sport Hitters. Do you love brackets like we do? Sport Hitters is a competitive wagering platform that's a new way to play. You challenge other players in small private challenges or enter a tournament and go for the big payout. Sport Hitters offers brackets every day for every sport and other events. Sport Hitters is something for everyone. So go to sporthitters.com and get the app and get your brackets in. It's for real money and it's a lot of fun. Get the app exclusively at sporthitters.com. Challenge on. All right, listen. Yesterday, Mike, you want to start NHL? You want to start NBA? What do you want to talk?
NBA's quick, so let's get into NBA real quick. The Sixers did not show up last night at all. Body energy, just they're superstars. They look like they were not trying to play basketball last night. And I'm not going to discredit Miami because they played great, and what they did kind of led to Philly kind of being sluggish and look out of it. But you could just tell from the jump they didn't have the same, get up in their step. And Harden was awful, and Embiid was awful. They were done right away. They were down double digits in the first quarter, and they never sniffed the comeback at all. That's the thing about James Harden teams in the playoffs, though, right? Every year you seem to see he just takes nights off when you're not supposed to take a night off in the playoffs as a superstar. And I don't know what it was. I actually put a lot of faith into Philly that thought they were getting it together. They're going to actually put it together and win this game. And they weren't even competitive. Now, what are they going to go home and think, oh, we're back home. We're going to force a game 7. Honestly, I think they're done, honestly.
So let's rewind 24 hours and go back to where I said James Harden was probably in the nightclub or the strip joint the night before drinking his champagne. And that probably showed last night. That probably showed last night. Listen, at the end of the day, you know what I'm proud of? Me. Because you know what I didn't do? Bet on a sport that I know nothing about and would have lost anyway. Because I actually thought Philadelphia was going to run them off the court. If I would have made my bet, I would have got crushed.
Yeah.
I can't bet NBA, and this is why. I think that nobody ever, to me, there used to be momentum in series. There used to be a semblance that you could figure out what was going on.
Right. Make more of an educated, read.
How in the world did they lose by 35 points last night?
That's what I'm saying.
How does that happen?
You do all that work to win 2 in a row after being down 2-0, which, hey, listen, you're going back home. I get it. Until you lose at home, and that's where you play well. it's still hard to think we have to win the 2 games just to
Yep.
even the series. You
Yeah.
do that in convincing fashion that has everyone believing in you again. Then you go and you lose by 35 points. It just speaks volumes.
Where was the money last night? Where was the money in that game at FanDuel? Where was the money?
I would guess Philly, bro. Honest, because the line dropped from 3.5 to 3 to 3, and then to 2.5 right before tip. So the money was coming in on Philly. So
was there a lot of
in-game?
Was there a lot of in-game on that in the fourth quarter? I'm assuming that thing jumped up to 27, 28, 20, and I'm assuming everybody kept hitting.
Everyone does that. Everyone usually takes the dog that's down late. In a big spread.
And they got actually crushed.
Yeah,
the books probably made a ton of money last night.
Ton of money
because in that fourth quarter, didn't it go from 20 to 35? Didn't it?
Yes.
Or 15 to 35?
Yeah. It got out of hand. It looked like they were going to take the foot off the throat, Miami, and then Bro, it just kept getting worse for Philly. And listen, any of the props you take in that game, none of Philly players got their props. It was just a disaster all the way around for Philly. And it's like not one of those things where you could be like, don't worry about it. They're going to come back home now. And that's not what you do, man. That's just, you don't have that kind of a clunker and then think you could just turn around and beat a team like Miami like it's nothing going home. Miami can now smell the blood in the water. And they're a kind of team with the coach. I think Spoelstra is the best coach that's not named Popovich right now in the league. I think this is over in Philly tomorrow night.
So I have a question because I've never really found out what happened. Remember that huddle fracas between Jimmy Butler and Spoelstra?
Yeah.
Did that ever get released? What was going on there?
I don't know if it was towards Spoelstra. I think just Spoelstra was kind of in the middle of it. No, I never really they never released what exactly that was over, and the Miami keeps a lot of their stuff in house. They always preach that. That's
Let me tell you something. That's a brilliant coach. That means that if you're a coach, if you're the fact that you just said that says his coach is doing a great job. They buy into what he's doing.
Yeah.
That means they respect him and they buy into what he's doing. So that says
Miami is tough though. I mean, I don't want it to get misunderstood. Like I was trying to say, like Miami's not a good team yesterday. I just really thought Harden found himself and Embiid and him would finally come together and be superstars. And they were the opposite of that last night. It's not even like they were good and they just didn't win. They didn't show up in a must-win game 5. It's terrible. It really is terrible to see. And I just don't think that they could just turn around and just beat Miami. Miami's consistent. That's the thing about Miami. They play hard defense. They're consistent, and they got a bunch of guys who could beat you, not just 1 or 2 that they rely on. So that's a tough formula to just turn it around and come back from a performance like that. So I'm going on record right now. This series is over tomorrow night.
Wow. Okay. Well, listen, in the other game, the Suns look like they flipped the
switch.
That
game went exactly how I thought it would, but not the way I thought it would. Like, Chris Paul didn't have to have a good game. He really didn't. Phoenix's D just showed up, and Dallas was very, they weren't good. And once it got to 10, and that's it. They couldn't get back into the game. Luka was really the only one playing well. All their role players were awful. They had 3 guys that had 0 points, and just Dallas didn't. That's the Dallas I've been talking about. They're not good. Like, Luka is surrounded by an average team at best. And if Luka's not putting up 30 godly numbers, triple-double numbers, and getting 3-pointers from all the guys that are coming in off the bench, Dallas shouldn't be there. So last night was just basically that. Phoenix is the way better team. They went home. They handled business. But there was nothing to be impressed about, about the game. Phoenix just handled business. But I like to see the rivalry that's brewing between Booker and Doncic. There's a lot of heated stuff going on there. If you saw last night, Devin Booker got a hard foul. He fell to the ground and he acted like he was hurt. And he stayed on the ground, right? And everyone's looking at him. Then he kind of peeks up and laughs and goes, "That's that Luka shit right there." And everyone started laughing. And then all of a sudden in the middle of the game, Luka has the ball and Devin comes and takes it out of his hand. And you could see Luka look at him and say, like, "You're a pussy." And start and smirk and say, "I got that in my back of my head. Don't worry about it." Like, I like the chippiness between Booker and Doncic right now. That's going to be a rivalry going forward. But yeah, that series is also not in. I think even if Dallas wins Game 6, just because they're great at home, they're not winning a game in Phoenix. So that series is also over.
Well, the games tonight are interesting, right? I mean, listen, we got.
The one game is Warriors.
You don't think that?
Warriors are winning that game.
I think the Grizzlies have a shot at home. The way that they, for some reason, has Steph really been the guy that you have to worry about as soon as he gets over half court now? I don't think he's been that guy. I don't think he's been
Well,
that,
listen, you're
not what
talking.
I've seen.
The Grizzlies have a chance at home. Listen, Ja's been ruled out. Rest of the
Yep.
playoffs.
Okay, let's
They
talk. Hold on.
just gave
Before you
them
go any
their
further,
best shot.
let's talk about that, because I can't understand. I can't understand how anybody thinks that guy shouldn't be suspended, at least for the rest of the series. That was not a basketball play. He grabbed and cupped the guy's knee. I know where you are on this. I can see the disdain.
He didn't do that on purpose. You can't convince me he did.
Why don't you walk outside?
No one does that. No one grabs your kneecap. I've never even heard of it. No one sits there with their fingers and grabs your kneecap intending to hurt your knee. I've never seen it. And if you replay the play, it was a clean double play, swatting at the ball, and his hand went on his knee. I can't even believe his knee got that hurt off of that. It was on his knee for 0.1 seconds. It's a very weird play.
Yeah, it is a very weird play. It's also a very weird thing to do, what he did.
But I don't think he was doing that. I just think it happened. His hand went there. I don't think he was doing that.
I don't think he grabbed his knee saying, oh, I'm going to bust his knee. I think he grabbed his knee saying, this guy's not going anywhere. I'm going to hold him back for a second.
Maybe that. And he didn't mean to grab the actual ligament in the knee, but who knows? But I don't think it was a malicious play that warranted of a suspension. The only way it would get suspended, and I would be all like, I understand, is because they had to, because of the previous in that series, the stuff that went down. So you're kind of matching.
Well, that's my point. Listen, I thought that the foul that Brooks committed was just a good hard foul.
More of a basketball play?
Yeah, it was a good hard foul. You know that when you go to the basket,
I think the fact that he hurt his elbow is why he got suspended. I don't think he gets suspended if he got right back up. If Peyton Jr. gets right back up, that's a technical and it's nothing more. But the fact he broke his elbow, that had to be, something had to happen because of that. That's what that was.
Listen, there's two things before we get back to this Golden State game. So, was it the Suns game last night where a guy followed a guy into a tunnel because was there an alley-oop dunk? What's his name? Biyombo?
Yeah, Biyombo. Bismack Biyombo. He's on Phoenix. I didn't see this. What you're talking about, though.
So with 3 or 4 seconds left, somebody threw him an alley-oop dunk. He went to catch it and dunk it when they're up by 35. He got fouled by a guy. The guy that he fouled and him got face to face. Biyombo and him were kicked out of the game. Then the other guy, the guy that fouled him to stop him from dunking the ball, followed him into the tunnel, and they needed cops to go in and make sure he didn't get into the locker room. He went to the wrong tunnel on purpose. Yeah, so this was a big story. This is a big story going on right now. It's Biyombo and whoever the guy is off the bench that followed him into the tunnel. So if you didn't see this, I actually wanted to
I don't know. I didn't see this. I didn't catch this.
So I didn't know. So his name is Biyombo, and then I forget the other guy.
Nothing happened though, right? I mean,
they both were kicked out of the game, and instead of one guy, what's the tall weird guy for Dallas? What's the tall weird guy? Yeah, the 7-foot center that doesn't play much. They say they like. He's a really nice guy, but he's like Ukrainian.
Boban?
That guy. So he actually ran down the tunnel to get him. The security guards had to go down the tunnel to stop him. He was going in after Biyombo. He wanted a piece of Biyombo. To me, here's the thing. To me, Monty Williams came out and said, well, we were just finishing the game. That's one of the times where I think you don't throw a lob and a dunk when you're up by 35 points. This was where I was going with this. I kind of don't mind the hard foul. And I think if you're Biyombo, you should expect it. If you're doing an alley-oop dunk when you're up by 35 points, you should expect.
Showboating. At that point, you're showboating.
Expect a foul. Expect a foul. Don't turn around and get in the guy's face like
that. Kind of reminds me of, remember a couple years ago that in the Kansas was playing Monmouth.
I do remember.
And the guy stole that ball at the end, and he went and he dunked it, and he got in their face when they were down 35. It's actually the reverse because that team was down 35.
Your guy got kicked out of Kansas for that. He was in other trouble, and he got kicked out of Kansas, right?
Yeah, I remember that. But it's just something you don't do with the games out of hand. It's kind of like that gentleman's, run the clock out, get to the end of the game. This game's been decided. So I agree with you there. I wouldn't throw any alley oops up 30 late. That's kind of breaking the code in a way.
Yeah. So listen,
But tonight's game, the way I look at it is Grizzlies without Morant went into Golden State and they played as good as they could possibly play, and they didn't beat the Warriors. So now the Warriors are going to end the series tonight. It's just what they are about. I feel like they're going to be playing way better than they played last game, and I just don't think the Grizzlies have enough to beat them. Like, listen, they're without John Morant. It's not like they're without, a little piece off the bat. Like, they're without the engine that makes them go. And they had a shot to do what they needed to do in Golden State. And they didn't finish the job.
Is Steph Curry still as dangerous today as he was 3 years ago? Does he still put the fear of God in the people when he gets over half court?
Deliberately, yes. Like, infinitively, yes. Okay. Yes. He can turn it on when he wants to, though, when he feels he has to be that guy. That's the thing. The Jordan Poole being there gives them another option, so he doesn't have to do that as much. But, listen, he didn't shoot well in the last game. But the last 6 minutes, Curry didn't miss. And he made every key shot. And then, obviously, when it's time to take free throws, he doesn't miss those. And that's a secret weapon of its own right. A guy that doesn't miss any free throws in a late game. But yeah, no, Curry's definitely that weapon that you still have to fear as soon as he crosses half court. He's not sitting there pulling up from half court like he used to, like it's nothing, but he could still make it from anywhere on the court at any time. And you definitely have to worry about him. But it's just building up to Phoenix. Golden State we've been waiting for since the beginning of the playoffs. That's the must-see series of this whole playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's the one everyone wants to see. Yeah. All right. All right, listen, hockey last night.
You got a little piece of what I was going through with the Rangers last night, huh?
Well, I mean, listen, what did I say? What did I say yesterday? Your best player has to be your goalie, and if you think that you just have an average goalie who can let in bad goals but make some good saves, you have no chance to win in the NHL for the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Bruins came out firing and outskated them for the first 6 minutes of that game. I was actually happy with what I saw to the Bruins. Carolina finally comes down and gets a shot. It's a weak shot, and it goes through his pads, and it slides into the net. And I'm like,
that deflates you as a team. If you think you're playing better and you're all over them, and you give up a weak goal, and all of a sudden you're down 1-0, all that energy that you just put out, and you're behind the 8 ball already, that 100% deflates you as a team. But 1-0, it shouldn't have been the do all say all.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
They got 2 quick power plays after that, and the second one they put it in. And of anybody putting it in, it
snowballed after that first goal. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they started skating around them. The Bruins were completely came out of their formations and took penalties.
But it's no surprise. I mean, look at all season when Boston's played in Carolina. The differential is crazy. Games 1 and 2 were the same way. It's one of those things. Wow. I'm going to tell the sports world right now how crazy what I just saw happen is. I didn't want to bring it to anyone's attention because it was so obscure of a bet that I made today. I looked on the board when I was bored earlier and said, you know what? I'm going to look for a fun prop, right?
Yeah.
So I took Freddie Freeman and Michael Chavez on Pittsburgh to tie for total bases on the day, plus 400. Freeman, who had a single. Chavez was 0 for 3. Chavez just came up and lined a single in the center field. They're tied right now in the bottom of the 7th inning. I don't think Freeman will get up again, so it might be a winner.
Well, they're on the road, right? They're in Pittsburgh right now, right?
Yeah, so they're down 4-3. They're down 4-3. So Pittsburgh's got the lead, so they're not going to bat in the bottom of the 9th unless obviously they tie it or whatever. But if the score stays like this, it should be a winner.
Freeman will get another at bat.
No, Freeman was the last guy up in the last inning, so I don't think he is. I got a chance.
Good shot.
Yeah, plus 400. I said, what the hell? Maybe they both go 0 for 4. That's actually crazy. I thought it was dead once Freeman singled because I said this guy Chavez ain't going to get a hit, and he just lined a single up the middle. Pretty crazy.
Is that the Chavez that used to be on the Red Sox?
I think it is. Is Michael Chavis or is?
Yeah, he was on the Red Sox at one time.
Yeah, I
I'm
think you're
pretty
right.
sure he started his career with the Red
I
Sox.
think you're absolutely right.
Yeah, so I didn't know where he was.
This
That's
game was
pretty much where
0-0 at the end of the 6th, and it's 4-3 right now in the 7th. Kind of crazy.
Well, games are getting ready to start here. Miami, Arizona's getting ready to kick off. I've got Arizona.
And then we got the Otani's taking a hill in a bit too.
Yeah, the bunch of good games starting. So listen, what are you seeing tonight in NHL?
I hate to say it. Look me in my eye. I hate to say it.
You think you're done?
No, I think the Rangers win tonight. I do.
On the road?
No. We're home tonight. We're back home tonight for Game 5, down 3-1.
Yeah.
I think we step up tonight in front of our home fans, and I think we win. Wow, another home run for Pittsburgh. Yeah, I think the Rangers win tonight. I think they're the kind of team like Shesterkin. I put a lot of trust in Shesterkin. The really 2 bad games in a row. Like he got pulled in both of them. I think he steps up tonight at home. He plays very good at home. I give them the benefit of the doubt they're going to win tonight at home. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to come in there with the energy the Rangers are going to come in there with.
The fact that you're watching the game right now makes me I am so homesick from World Resorts. I so want to be sitting in there watching the games, having some beers, and just watching baseball right now in those reclinable chairs. That's all I could think of when you just.
When are we going? When's my flight? Let's go.
We got to get back to. We got to get back to Vegas soon. And listen, World Resorts.
My realistic target is late July. That's my realistic target to get out to Vegas.
I think it might happen.
I have a lot of. I think
it's going to happen.
I have some things I got to take care of. Out of state, out of country. But I'll be back at the end of July, and then I'll be ready to go wherever the hell we want to go.
I have a feeling I'm going to be able to enjoy World Resorts very quickly.
I hear you. I understand why you got that feeling. Let's go, baby.
and I got to talk to them about their $10.50 beers because it's my only gripe is that they want to charge me $10.50.
And they're not the tall glasses, right?
No, they're not. Tall boys.
They're not the tall boys.
Oh, if they were pint, if they were like Steins or something, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah,
we're in. But listen, I'll still say it now. Best service in all of Vegas. Best customer service in all of Vegas Resort World. 100% sportsbook. Best customer service.
I hear you. I'm gonna check out Circa, and then I'll get back to you on that because right now I think Circa might be the place.
Circa has no customer service. Circa has the opposite of customer service.
Let's go.
They actually, I sat there with my ticket in my freaking hand.
Your boy loves that place. Your boy loves it. Steve Stevens loves the Circa.
No. Listen, it's okay. It's got a cool bar.
Listen, I haven't been to the resorts yet, so I can't even say yet.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't go there
when you left. Yeah. No. So anyway, I think you're going to be disappointed in Circa. I really do.
We'll check it out. We'll be live out there, and I'll let everybody know what I think about that when we get there.
All right, so let's jump.
But I also like the Panthers. I also like the Panthers tonight. I think that overtime win last game really rejuvenated them. They got the monkey off the back because they were kind of playing, like on edge, like they weren't playing their style. And a win like that for a team like that, I think they're going to wake up and I think they win by 2, 3, 4 plus. I think they blow out the Caps tonight. What do you think?
What do I think? I think I'm constantly being wrong right now in this year's NHL playoffs. So
you're due. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right on. I would say that Florida's a better team. They should have a lot of momentum. They escaped a loss. It was a loss. That was booked as a loss.
Down 3-1, that loss.
Yeah, they were booked as a loss, probably looking at it being down 3-1 and feeling like their backs are against a wall. Right. Now going home at 2-2. They better come out fast.
I just think there's no way that they don't come out firing. And the way that they score goals, I just think it's going to be a goal fest tonight. I would take Florida and the over tonight in that game.
And I think the other game is the route. I think the Calgary-Dallas game is the route. I think Calgary routes them at home.
Me too. That's another team that kind of got their ship last game. They were kind of teetering on not playing their kind. They only had two goals in 3 games. They showed up. They won 3-0. They played Calgary Flame hockey, and I think that they're back as well. So I think all 3 home teams tonight. And I know you said that last night.
I said it last night. It was 2-2. 2-2. And it's weird. It was 2-2, and it could have been 1-3. It could have been 3-1.
Could have been 3-1. That we didn't even touch on the Oiler game, but that Oiler game was nuts. So they fell down 1-0, and I'm like, here we go again with the Oilers. They tie it up quickly, second period. In my head, this is what's going on throughout that game. I'm like, oh, Oilers got it easy. Then they fall down 2-1. I said, wow, they actually didn't take I thought they were a lock to take the lead after they tied it. They went down 3-1. Now I'm saying, wow, this team is done. They cut it to 3-2. Now I'm saying, all right, here they come. They go down 4-2 with 6 minutes left in the game. I said, that's it. They're done. Down 2 for the third time in the game.
Yep.
They get a shorthanded goal from Drysdale. And boy, is he a beast. I understand McDavid is a monster and he's their best player, but Drysdale is the guy. Whenever he scores, they do wonders. He's their guy.
Who's he getting the puck from? When he scores,
McDavid.
Who's he usually getting?
2 assists were outstanding in both the goals that he. They score shorthanded. Listen, they're on the power play. The Kings up 2 goals with 6 minutes left. You win. That's a win for any team usually. You give up the shorty. The only thing you can't do is give up a shorty. Give it up. Now they got momentum. They tie it up 4 minutes later. It's 4-4. They go to overtime. Now they're a lock, right? I'm listening to the post game in the middle of the third period in overtime. And they're all saying, yeah, it's going to be too hard for the Kings to win this game. And I totally agreed with them. But that's how crazy and random hockey is. Because the Kings came out, they had one little breakaway, and the guy put it in the net. A sick play. Give him all the credit. And now the Kings are up 3-2.
What I saw so I don't get a chance to watch a lot of Edmonton.
Yeah.
What I saw out of McDavid last night, I was like, wow. I said it multiple times. I'm like, holy crap. Wow.
First of all, he's the fastest skater I've maybe ever seen.
The first goal where he deked the goalie down, skated around the back around the back of the net, then passed it. I think it was Draisaitl in front of the net, who put it in the net. I thought, wow, and I'm like, that looked just like Gretzky. That honestly looked exactly like Gretzky.
And it's just one number doesn't have the full loop on it. It's 97, not 99. But man, when he's behind the net, when he's out there passing the puck around, when he's skating through people, the
league needs to find a way to get a lot more people in the U.S. that follow only their home team. The Bruins, we listen.
You know what that does, though? Go deep in the playoffs.
Yeah, Bruins fans in the playoffs. I think Rangers fans the same way. Hockey's a weird sport where guys that will watch a lot of the sport will only watch their home team.
You're right. Hockey is a team where the homers they stick with their home team. It's kind of like baseball. You're right.
I think Resorts
basketball and NFL, they do very, very good of marketing every
I just had a message come across my screen that Resorts World is offering discounts on hotels. I swear they're listening.
They're listening.
I think they're listening.
Shout out to Resorts World.
So listen, what I'm saying is, I don't want this guy to go another 3 years without like him being the face. Like
it's kind of like Mike Trout. Yeah, I was just going to say, it just reminded me of that too. It's like no one knows how great he really is because first, number one, he plays on the West Coast, and number two, he's never been deep in the playoffs. So
and he doesn't have the marketing machine behind him. He doesn't have that marketing machine because his team isn't winning. Yeah. Gretzky's team was winning, and he was a stud on it.
Because the Dodgers play in the same town, and everyone knows the Dodgers because they're winners. They win, they get World Series. They're deep in the playoffs every year. They go and spend money. That's why the difference is from people who know the Dodgers and not the Angels. And I just think Edmonton right now, they're down 3-2. They need to go deep in the playoffs for McDavid to get that exposure he needs.
That coach for LA is one tricky coach, man. He is just an old school, tough, gritted out dude. Doesn't say a lot. But I'll tell you what, when that guy speaks in that locker room, I'll guarantee everybody listens. The other interesting thing that happened last night was I was watching it and I heard Anze Kopitar, and I'm like, God damn, he's old. He's been in the league forever. And then I look, and he's only 34 or 35. I'm like, God, I thought he's been in the league forever. And then I look, he has been in the league forever. He started when he was 17.
Yeah, he's been in the league a long time. Him and Brown are the only two guys remaining off that Cup team besides Jonathan Quick. Yeah. So, I mean, the Kings have been good. I've been wrong about the Kings all year. I've been waiting for them to fall off all year. They keep surprising me. They're a pesky team. That's a big win for them to pull out, especially after blowing that 2-goal lead late. I know they're a great home team, but if you look at Game 3, it was in LA. They lost 8-2. So this game could go any way in game 6. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
All right. Well, you know what time it is. What's your pick of the day?
Second time's a charm, everybody. I'm going back to the Rangers as my pick of the day. I was completely wrong last time I picked them as my pick of the day, but I'm confident at home under these circumstances they will be the pick of the day. Don't be afraid to lay the 130. Hammer the Rangers. My pick of the day.
Stop betting with passion. Bet with your mind, not with passion.
Betting with my mind. I'm betting with my mind.
So my pick of the day is getting ready to go right now. I love the Diamondbacks today. They've won 3 in a row. I love the Diamondbacks. I like Merrill Kelly at home.
You like Kelly? That's I was going to say. Are you just picking them because they're? I mean,
no, Merrill Kelly at home.
Alcantara is a good pitcher.
Yeah, Merrill Kelly at home. I like them. I think they're a hot team. They're actually better than what people realize. They're 4 games over 500 right now. They're actually a better team than people realize. They're not the same team as they were last year. So.
They started out like they were, and you're right. They've picked it up very, very. They've been very solid and competitive. They beat the Dodgers 2 out of 3 this year.
Yeah,
so they've been a very good competitive under the radar team.
But listen, here's a couple things that I want to cover. So today, in sport hitters today, we got Nerfies, right? So Nerfies are in today. Tomorrow, we're coming back with NHL, and we're going to do the first period over-unders. Friday, we're coming back, and we're doing first 5 innings.
First 5 innings, yeah.
First 5. So you're going to be able to pick games.
So these are all tournaments. So for people who don't understand Nerfy, there's no run first inning, yes, run first inning. Yep. You get to pick in a tournament style in a pool against other peers, and you get to pick who gets the most right. No in the first inning or yes run in the first inning. It's pretty awesome. It's a popular bet in sportsbook everywhere now. And then you said what? First period over-unders? 1.5 first periods. Yep. Excellent action for the first period. That's a fun tournament. And then we're going to do first 5 innings, which basically you base on the starting pitchers. You go and you make your selections. First 5 innings, whoever's leading after the first 5. And then what do we got? Saturday, there's no NBA, right?
Saturday, there's no NBA, but we're doing NHL and we're doing all kinds of stuff. We're doing the over-under in the first period again, 1.5. But then we're also doing the super puck line at 2.5 for the teams for the game.
2.5?
Yep. We're going to have those. Then Sunday, we're coming back. We're doing custom prop tournaments for NBA playoffs. Sunday's should be a good slate. We're going to have all kinds of custom props that Jersey Joe's going to
I got you guys on the props. I'm gonna cook up some good ones for you. Hopefully, hopefully there's still games Sunday. I see a lot of these series ending tomorrow.
Nah, there'll be a game or two. We'll be all right. So it should be fun. There's no game scheduled for Saturday, so they're trying to book a full slate on Sunday. So there's gonna be some games. But regardless, whether there's 1 game or 5 games or 4 games, there's going to be plenty of props and prop tournaments. So it's going to be awesome. What else? Anything else going on big time today out there?
Not really. We got the baseball slate. We covered the NBA tonight. No, the basic stuff tonight. I'm going to be watching the Rangers heavily. It's a big game for us. I don't want us to go out in 5. That'll be kind of lame. Outside of that, no, nothing out of the norm.
All right. Well, listen, I'm going to tomorrow. We're back Thursday. And we're doing something Thursdays now. We're going to continue. We are going to do the 2-beer, 4-leg parlay every Thursday.
It's coming back. We're undefeated. We're 1-0, baby.
Two. Yeah. So you'll get 2 picks from Jersey Joe, 2 picks from Mitch tomorrow for our 2-beer, 4-leg parlay. It should be a lot of fun. So
and keep riding it till it loses, Thursday. Baby. Keep riding it till it loses.
All right. Listen, it was fun. Everybody go out and enjoy the games tonight. And then we're back at it tomorrow. Should be fun.
See you later.